All right, thank God for fantasy football season. I'm Buster Brown, and the show, it's called Redemption Rehab. And if you tuned in today, it's because you want to do one thing, and that's start winning money in fantasy football. Today, we're talking about my top picks in daily fantasy football that'll help you get the job done. So let's head over to the chalkboard
and check out the facts.
All right, yeah. Today, here we are on our website, Fantasy Football Redemptionrehab.com, and we're talking daily fantasy football for week 13 of the NFL season. Hopefully, you've been tuning in all our shows. Last week, the lineups we showed you on our website, we hit money on 3 of the 4 and actually went 5 of 6. You don't believe me? All you got to do is go to our website, fantasyfootballredemptionrehab.com, and check it out. But today, we're talking daily fantasy football on FanDuel and RT Sports. Today, we're going to show you about player rankings and how to get those players we like in our lineups on FanDuel to help you win some cash. So let's head over to rtsports.com
and check out the facts.
Okay, here we are on RT Sports checking out our top 10 quarterback rankings. As you can see, they have Lamar Jackson, who's been tearing it up this year, as their number 1 quarterback. I don't like him against San Francisco this week, but I do like Patrick Mahomes against the Oakland Raiders. I like Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I also really like Aaron Rodgers this week. He's going up against the New York Giants. I think he's going to have a big game, a bounce-back game in week 13. If you don't want to take a top quarterback and spend all that money, I've got some sleeper picks you're going to love, like Andy Dalton. How about Kyle Allen? These guys should both throw for a couple touchdowns and 250 yards. So don't be afraid to go cheap at quarterback. Other quarterbacks I like are down here. I kind of like Nick Foles this week, going up against a weak Tampa Bay secondary. And I also like Jared Goff for a bounce-back game. Look, he's due, and Arizona's defense isn't very good. Since we're on RT Sports looking at their rankings, let's head over and check out their running back rankings for week 13 of the NFL season. Okay, here we are on RT Sports checking out the top 10 running back rankings for week 13. You gotta love Christian McCaffrey, but he's really expensive on FanDuel. They raised his price to $11,000. So getting him in your lineup's going to be difficult. I also like Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's going to tear it up in Seattle. Getting him in our lineup is important. I also like, and it's going to be hard to believe, Leonard Fournette. He's going up against the Tampa Bay defense that's been stout against the run. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, and I bet he finds the end zone. Maybe more than once. Other running backs I like, and so does RT Sports, Le'Veon Bell. This could be the game where he busts out against the weak Cincinnati defense. Also, I like Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. Green Bay gives up a lot of running yards and touchdowns to running backs, so I'll tell you what, getting Saquon in our lineup might be a good idea. And I also like Aaron Jones down here going up against a weak New York Giants defense. Other running backs you should consider this week are Todd Gurley going up against a weak Arizona defense, and running backs that aren't on here like Kareem Hunt of the Cleveland Browns. He's only $5,900 on FanDuel. We might be able to get him in our lineups, and any of the Kansas City Chiefs running backs in a high-scoring game against Oakland. You have to check Sunday to see who's playing. Let's go over and check out some wide receivers we like in week 13 on rtsports.com. Okay, here we are checking out wide receivers on rtsports.com. Wide receivers I like in week 13, starting with Michael Thomas. And I should mention that any of the players that played on Thanksgiving Day, including Michael Thomas, are not in our tournament. Therefore, we won't be suggesting any of those guys. But other wide receivers we like this week, starting with Chris Godwin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going up against a Jacksonville defense. They like to give up a lot of yards in the air, so he should have a good game. I also like Tyreek Hill. I expect him to have a great game against a weak Oakland secondary. And DJ Chark. Tampa Bay gives up a lot of yards in the passing game, and DJ Chark's having a breakout year. So getting him in our lineup's important. Other guys I really like, how about Devontae Adams down here at number 12? He's going up against a really poor Giants secondary in a game I think he's going to break out in. And if another guy I think has a chance to break out this week is down here, Cooper Kupp. He hasn't done anything in 3 weeks, but I expect that to change against a poor Arizona secondary. Let's go check out some tight ends we're going to try to get in our lineup this week. Okay, here we are back on RT Sports looking at their top 10 tight ends. Gotta love Travis Kelce going up against a weak Oakland secondary. He should have a big game. I like Zach Ertz and George Kittle. Zach Ertz is nursing an injury this week, and I expect him to be up big on Miami, so he may not see as much playing time as he normally would. I really like George Kittle. He's also nursing an injury, and he's going up against a tough defense in Baltimore. But I also really like Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry also has a difficult matchup against Denver. So really, the tight end I really like the most is Travis Kelce. And I've got a sleeper for you this week. With the injury to Eric Ebron, down here at number 14 is Jack Doyle. They like to throw the ball in Indianapolis to the tight end. And with Eric Ebron on IR, I think they're going to target Jack Doyle a lot. So if you need a sleeper tight end to save some money and you can't afford maybe say a Travis Kelce or even a Hunter Henry, which I'm suggesting, then I think you have to go with the Jack Doyle, who may see as many as 5 or 6 targets and possibly catch a touchdown in the end zone. Of course, Chicago played on Thursday, so they're not in our tournament. But look where they have the Los Angeles Chargers, number 2, and they're only $3,900 on FanDuel. So if RT Sports says go get them, that's what we're going to go do. Last week we told you about the Atlanta Falcons, who was last on FanDuel for $3,000, and they got us 21 points. I'm not saying the Chargers will do that, but for $3,900 and a second ranking on RT Sports, we're going to put them in our lineup. Another team I really like is the Cleveland Browns against a weak Pittsburgh team that is banged up at quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. If you can get Cleveland as your defense on FanDuel, highly suggest it. They're going to also have a big week, even though they're missing Myles Garrett. And my sleeper defense this week, you're not going to believe it, they didn't make their top 21. It's the Houston Texans against the New England Patriots. Patriots are kind of banged up at wide receiver. They're banged up on the offensive line, and I hear the quarterback's limping around. So don't be surprised if Houston takes advantage of the New England Patriots in Week 13. So let's head over to FanDuel and see how we can get all these players we like into our lineup for Week 13 of the NFL season to win some cash. Here we are in FanDuel, and we're plugging in all the players we just mentioned with quarterbacks that we really like, starting with the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. We like Le'Veon Bell against Cincinnati. He's going to be in a lot of our lineups. We like Saquon Barkley. Tyreek Hills, who we're stacking with Patrick Mahomes. Whenever you get a quarterback, you have to stack him with at least 1 or 2 other players. And we did that with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. We told you earlier we really like DJ Chark. And a sleeper at wide receiver going up against the sweet matchup against the New York Jets' poor secondary. And the return of Andy Dalton, who's going to be flinging the ball around in Cincinnati. Tyler Boyd, who had over 100 yards and a touchdown last week. And our sleeper tight end, because we spent so much money at quarterback, is Jack Doyle. And our sleeper defense, the Houston Texans. Last week we told you the Atlanta Falcons, and they led all defenses in scoring. If you need a sleeper defense to save money, I'm not suggesting they're going to score a ton of points, but Houston's where I'd go. I really like San Diego Chargers, and I love the Cleveland Browns this week, and so does RT Sports. Let's go check out another lineup I like this week to win some cash on FanDuel. Here we are back on FanDuel looking at the number 4 quarterback on RT Sports ranking, and that's Jameis Winston. There's a lot of risk with this guy. He turns the ball over like crazy. The last week he had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He threw most of them to the guy I'm stacking him with, which is Chris Godwin. If you want to, you can switch him out with Mike Evans, who's actually less money. Getting them both in there is really hard, but you can if you want to. I also like Aaron Jones. He's got a great matchup against the New York Giants, and we've got Saquon Barkley back in our lineup again. I told you how much we like DJ Moore, which is in most of our lineups, and DJ Chark. I like both those guys this week. They should have huge games against weak secondaries. We kept our sleeper tight end, Jack Doyle, and our sleeper wide receiver in Tyler Boyd, but we upgraded our defense to the San Diego Chargers, who RT Sports had ranked second. This is also a viable lineup to win some cash. Let's take a look at a few more. Okay, here we have Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback, and we're stacking him with one of the running backs we like, Aaron Jones, and the first time on the board, Devontae Adams, who I think is going to have a big game. We also like Le'Veon Bell, should have a good matchup against a team he has seen for several years, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. We like Le'Veon Bell there, and we still like Aaron Jones against the Giants. We still got DJ Chark and DJ Moore in our lineups. They should both have good weeks, like we said. And here's our 2 sleepers, tight end and wide receivers, Tyler Boyd and Jack Doyle. And we kept the same defense. This is also a viable lineup with Aaron Rodgers at our quarterback. Let's go take a look at some lineups where we're not spending so much money at quarterback. Okay, here's another lineup where we're not spending as much money at quarterback with Jared Goff of the Los Angeles Rams. He hasn't been playing well, but it's all going to get better this Sunday when I think he has a breakout game. Todd Gurley should be able to run the ball, so we're stacking him with Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp. Those guys should all have good games this week. We kept Le'Veon Bell in our lineup, DJ Moore, DJ Chark in our lineups. We also kept Tyler Boyd, but because we went cheaper at quarterback, we were finally able to upgrade from our sleeper pick Jack Doyle to Hunter Henry, who's going to have a big game. We kept the Houston defense, who is our sleeper. This is a lineup you can use if you like the Rams against the Arizona Cardinals. Let me give you some sleeper quarterbacks that'll help you save some money and get some big-time players in your lineup. Okay, I told you if you go really cheap at quarterback, you can get a bunch of great players in your lineup. That's why I like Andy Dalton of the Cincinnati Bengals. He's got a lot to prove on a poor team. They haven't won a game all year. They may even get AJ Green back, which should open things up to who we stacked Andy with, which is Tyler Boyd. Don't really care for Joe Mixon, otherwise I'd have him in there. But we kept Saquon Barkley, Le'Veon Bell, DJ Moore, DJ Chark, and we were able to upgrade to Travis Kelce because we saved so much money at quarterback. That's why you go cheap at quarterback. Look who we were able to get at tight end. RTSports.com's #1 tight end. We also got their #2 running back in, Dalvin Cook. He's going to have a big game. I love this lineup. And we were able to get the #2 defense on RT Sports, Los Angeles Chargers. This is one of my favorite lineups. I'm going to play it a lot, and I expect to win a lot of money. Hopefully, Andy Dalton shows up. The weather could be a factor Sunday, so keep that in mind. Let me show you one more lineup, and then we're done. Okay, this is the last lineup I want to show you, and this one is with Nick Foles at quarterback. With him, we stacked Leonard Fournette and DJ Chark. We kept Le'Veon Bell in there, DJ Moore, Tyler Boyd, but because we saved money at quarterback, look what we could do at tight end and flex. We've got Travis Kelce and Saquon Barkley in there. Weren't able to get one of our top defenses, but we went with our sleeper defense like we did last week in the Houston Texans. Hopefully it'll pan out for us. Okay, that's it for this week, week 13 of the NFL season. We showed you everything you need to do to win money this week, just like we did in weeks previously. If you get a chance, come check out our website, fantasyfootballredemptionrehab.com. Check out our weekly waiver wire report, or you can always log on to see who we like in daily fantasy football rankings. I'm Buster Brown, the show's Redemption Rehab. Good luck.